Thought Cops presents Escape from Neo Chicago, a live Thought Cops event.
Thursday, August 26th at the Lincoln Lodge Theater in Neo Chicago. Join the Thought Cops Kevin and Grant with special guest deputies Brandon Kirkman and Martin Felshman for a night of irony-poisoned alternative comedy forged from the darkest corners of the internet.
Tickets are $10.
Ticket link in the episode description.
7825, code 6, 105 North Avenue, 52.
Prepare to be fucked by the long dick of the law.
This isn't happening. Everyone look away, please. Nothing to see here.
You can't break those cuffs.
Take him away, Ty.
Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet because, hey, somebody's got to do it. And then we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo Chicago, I am Officer Kevin.
And coming to you live from cyberspace, I'm Hacker Grant.
Grant.
Also a thought cop, also an officer of the internet law, but just, you know, the rogue. I'm gonna try and make this a recurring thing. So
and now, folks at home, if you're
check out this YouTube channel
there
that
it
we've
is.
been promoting. I've been doing these costume changes.
Let me just say it's incredible the work you've put in here. What do you
Seriously, yeah.
Are you wearing a duster and sunglasses and a shirt with me and you on
but
it?
like the hacker sunglasses, you know.
Yeah,
so it looks
yeah.
like I'm in cyberspace.
I'm hacking into the mainframe is what I see.
Real close at the reflection of the lenses, you see like green lettering streaming down. Zwick, add that in post.
And we call that an Easter egg in the business. Let's give a quick thank you to our guest from last week, Kelgore. Thank you.
Enough!
And let us give a warm welcome to a returning guest to the program. I'm talking about Andrew Shankland.
Hello.
How are you, man?
What's up?
I'm good. How are you both?
We are doing well, if I may speak for both of us.
And you should.
So, Andrew, we were talking before the record that the last time you were on is one of those episodes that happened right before the shit hit the fan, where we didn't see, hey, let's just say we got caught with our pants down in this country. We didn't know what was coming. We were recording an episode in person before the whole pandemic happened, and I think you might have been one of the last in-person guests we had.
I want to say I was.
Pretty close to it.
As I remember,
if not.
yeah.
And we really do, we like to have all different kinds of guests from all around this blue marble we call Earth. But it is nice to have people in person again. And that's why it's great. We're talking about the energy and just the camaraderie that comes from being in the same room, but you just don't get every day, So we're happy to have you here. Andrew, you are a Chicago comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you stay busy when all the comedy clubs and all the dive bars were closed for the whole freaking thing?
Well, I wrote pretty much every day, and I read some books, and I started dating. I tried to find love.
During the pandemic?
During the pandemic,
How
I
did
started
that work?
dating. Oh, good at first.
Did you meet up?
I did. I did a lot of Zoom stuff.
Okay.
Do the Zoom dates, which good for me, like that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Then, I met up and we distanced stuff and then grew closer as time went on.
Interesting. Very cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Well, because I'd been so busy doing stand up, I didn't take. I was literally out every night doing whatever open mic I could and
On the grind.
Yeah, and then it was I guess now's my chance to. And also, it's nice to date when I don't have to leave my house. Was nice. So.
That's true.
Yeah.
No commute.
No commute.
So how do you feel now though that things are open back up for the however long?
For however long.
Yeah.
No, I like. It's good to be out. It's good to be going around town again. Yeah, it's fun to see people after.
Do you find yourself
long.
back on the grind again? Where I don't have time for dating. I don't have time for this crap. I gotta
more
be,
or less.
Yeah,
I mean,
back on my bullshit.
Back on. Yeah, dudes rock, and we continue to rock. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I mean. Back out there on the mean streets, doing all the mics, and yeah,
It do be like that.
it do be like that.
And you said you wrote every day.
Pretty much. I
That's
took a couple
awesome.
days off, but yeah, I wrote a
That's
lot.
I mean a couple days off of
a couple days off of 18 months.
18 months.
Is not
That's
that bad.
incredible, man. I mean, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, was it purposeful writing, or I know, I did therapy a long time ago, every white man should.
Mhm.
Like
Before or
everybody
after the
should.
podcast, as all those tweets say.
Oh, before the podcast.
Yeah.
Here we
And
are.
I remember my therapist telling me, oh, you should do these morning pages or whatever, when you wake up and you just write whatever.
That's actually
and
basically what I do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
just sort of first thing that comes to your mind, and then maybe it goes somewhere, sort of thing. More or less.
I try to write jokes. I have to give a form to it, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is in the morning. Yeah. Did therapy too. I'm in therapy. I'm on meds. Pretty fun.
Nice. Yeah, hey man, who isn't these days?
Yeah, I know.
So now you spent all that time training.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm listening to a incredible anime story where
Yeah.
the time skip
This
has
is
happened.
just the life that you live.
It's like,
being
no.
the anime character on my shirt currently.
Yeah, more or less. And I shout out to all the people who have drawn me as a manga character in recent times too. I do appreciate that.
Are they doing any Grant Kevin slash fic? Is there any Grant Kevin slash fic?
There was.
I'm gonna manifest it.
There was kind of one.
Get Martin and Aaron and Brandon on it.
Oh, God. Those guys, yeah,
They'll do it. Brandon
do
will
it
do
for
it.
sure. We did have our episode 100 promo art. Our friend Nico drew MPreg fan art, male pregnancy.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
Grant was giving birth to
An
episode
episode.
100.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
good. Well, I'd like to reference my favorite anime, Kill Bill Part 2.
See, you're in the part 2 portion now.
Oh, I've seen both of them now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here you are.
This is after I bet May Pai.
Which one was that?
He's the kung fu master.
Oh,
in the
right.
movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then you
I
had
just watched Kill Bill.
fresh on your mind.
I also think it's funny to call it an anime.
There
There
was
is an
was.
anime
Yeah.
portion of it, but it's Quentin Tarantino's take on anime.
Yeah, that and what was that? What was a show called Carradine was on originally? Was it just called Kung Fu? I want to say something like that.
Probably.
Some of the old heads will let us know.
Yeah.
But that's great, man. I mean, I props to you because I mean we kept busy with the show, but there was a lot of times where it was man, it was hard to think about being creative sometimes,
Yeah.
and even I stand up. I've gotten back into stand up since things have kind of opened back up, but it was tough at first because I'm oh yeah, I haven't thought about this
Yeah.
in a while because I didn't know when I would have to again. But
if anything, I am now more twisted than ever.
oh
so.
boy,
That's a good position to be in.
Yeah.
I think that it gives you the sense of how you interact with the current world that we're all in.
what he's trying to say is you took the Joker pill.
I did. I am Joker pilled.
As
Clown pilled, actually.
yeah.
I would say clown pilled.
Oh, the generic brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
the
insurance
generic
doesn't.
one.
My insurance doesn't cover the Joker.
Right, yeah.
My
Yeah,
insurance-
it
that's
sucks,
funny.
but it's the same basic thing.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, we got a little bit of show news of our own. Of course, we got our live show coming up very soon, August 26th, 7 p.m. It's a Thursday night at the Lincoln Lodge. If you haven't bought tickets, we got a link in the episode description. Whether you're watching,
Fucking do it.
I agree.
Buy the tickets. Come here.
Come-
Not here.
Yeah,
but
don't-
to Chicago.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun. We got Brandon Kirkman, we got Martin Felshman. It's going to be a night of laughs and merriment and God, what else, man?
I don't know.
Shock.
We've billed it.
Schadenfreude.
We've billed it Escape from Neo Chicago. Fun fact, if you Google Escape from Neo Chicago, we are the first people to show up. We're the only people that ever titled anything that.
And I do know people are Googling that exact phrase.
Hey, they're going to start. I'm telling you. This is the foundational groundwork. It's only up from here.
I mean, I guess it's cool that nobody else has used it, which is actually kind of surprising. But
it's like, it's like re-educationing.
It made me think
no one's stupid enough to have named something re-educationing.
Well, it's like Neo Yokio from the what is that anime?
That Netflix
show? The Ezra Koenig anime.
I like that. I remember like a lot of people like talked mad shit on it, but
that was pretty fun.
I thought it was entertaining. It was weird. It was. I mean, for at least it wasn't like another one of these shows that looks exactly like Family Guy, like we talked about last time.
Yeah,
it looked cool and unique and had a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's enough about the Neo Yokio portion of the episode. We also have we mentioned last time, but if you haven't checked it out, patreon.com/thoughtcops. We got a brand new episode of our spin-off podcast, Fire Bros, where we review different pieces of media almost every month. This month we reviewed the movie Chinatown. We reviewed
the director famously did nothing wrong.
Nothing. No. I've never heard of any controversies.
Our
surrounding
patron saint Roman Polanski.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing that I'm familiar with. Nirvana, the band, the show. If you can't tell, I'm struggling to remember what the other.
What is Nirvana, the band, the show?
It's this Canadian show. You ever seen? They were like a web series at
no,
first.
but this sounds interesting.
The show aired on.
I feel like I've heard of it. Yeah,
it was on Vice Network for a bit. It's a great show. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, whatever the other stuff was, just go to patreon.com/thoughtcops. We talked about it with our good friend Sleep Science, aka Josh, who will be running tech once again at the live show. So again, get your tickets, check out that extra bonus content, support our friend Josh and us. Why not? That's the Thought Cops promise. Why not?
The Thought Cops promise. I don't know.
What else? What else? And why not?
Exactly.
Without much further ado, though, let's get to a very famous, very favorite segment of the show called 2 Minutes of Hate, where we like to blanket punish all that annoying, random crap that we see on the internet every single day of our lives.
I hate it.
Yet we're out here using the internet, and it's not just because I have to do a show talking about it either. I use it for pleasure and for business. So my 2 minutes of hate this week is this Twitter account. Not the Twitter account itself. The Twitter account is called like 4chan Green Text or something like that. But they've been posting these like black pill of the day, where it's like, here's your black pill of the day.
Here it is, your moment of black pill.
Basically, yeah. It's imagine if Jon Stewart was.
What's an example of a black pill?
I got a couple of examples here. So they post these like things on like basically 4chan Green Text or like 4chan screenshots. Where I'll read one of them off here. It says, this daily black pill was, you will never experience a woman's first love, which is the only one that really matters. No girl is ever truly over their ex, and they always remember their first time fondly. Any relationship you have will be a knockoff version of the pure teen love that you can only experience once. Her love will be split between you and each one of her exes. And we got one more here. The image is a picture of a high school football quarterback and the cheerleader kissing, and the text says, "There's literally nothing I can think of that's more cringe than some genetic dead-end, socially outcasted, low-status loser trying to self-improve to fit into society. It's like they're so far off the mark, I don't even know where to begin. The average person, and even above average person, just exists, and the things you consider normal just happen to them. No high schooler ever had to self-improve to get a girlfriend. He just existed, thought it would be cool and fun to play sports, and a girl was attracted to him, and they gravitated towards each other. There's no thought put into this. These things just happen with the natural flow of life. That's what happens when you're not a genetic, dead-end, mentally ill freak. You don't ever find yourself one night lying in bed alone while you don't have a single friend, or you've never even kissed a girl at 23 years old. You don't devise a plan to stop touching your cock for 6 months in order to look a girl in the eye. You just exist. You go with the flow. and you end up with a wife, a nice job, a house, and maybe some kids. If you missed out on this flow, it's probably because you're complete genetic shit. And that one was titled Thermonuclear Black Pill Incoming. And it's like, part of the funny thing about this is it's like, this is supposed to be like, this guy's like, oh, this is so relatable. You guys are going to fucking lose your minds. And then you see
it's
this
relatable, like when I was 12 years old and like the girl that I liked didn't like me back.
Right.
But like if you have any level of emotional maturity beyond that.
No, these are like people with like emotional defiance disorders who are like 24 years old.
Yeah, these are like 34-year-olds that like relate to this shit that's like terrifying and toxic. Just to sort of clarify for the not so online people, I think we all know what the red pill is, which is just that like feminism is ruining society and like whatever, blah blah blah. And like the black pill is that like one step further, just like you're just shit, man.
Black pill is when you're just complete nihilist.
Yeah. But again, only towards these weird like relationship structures sort of that we've built for ourselves. Like it's always within that context.
I mean, I feel bad for these guys. It's like, I mean,
Pure Teen Love, that is a Roman Polanski film, actually, I believe.
To mention the man himself, yeah.
That was just stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Pure Teen Love really stuck in my head there. This is just incel stuff. I mean,
exactly,
when I hear black pill now, I think about it more in like I hear it always in like a political sense where it's like, oh, the eviction moratorium, blah, 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 black pill. But I always forget that there is like...
It at least came from that sort of thing.
These are like incel refugees.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting thing about that is like, you know, you mentioned red pill, blue pill. I feel like nobody really uses those phrases anymore. Like, you know, blue pill was like your, you know, Democrat, whatever.
I never really, blue pill, not so much as red,
normal
red pill
people,
and black pill, yeah.
Normal people never used it to begin with.
No, of course.
you don't hear it. The one thing I will say that's interesting in a weird unifying way is that I do see people on the far left and far right both using the term black pill. In terms
absolutely.
of like, or I mean, we said Joker pillar. I mean, it's the same fucking, whatever
it's the
fucking
same idea,
thing. Like, it's like the people on the right go, "Oh, Hong Kong clown world," you know, and we're just saying like, "Oh, I'm Joker-fied." It's just like we're all using the metaphor of the sad clown because that's what we are.
It's also weird how much overlap there is with this weird sort of 4chan-esque like verbiage that like I do feel like a lot of people that are leftist online do sort of repurpose and ironically use a lot of the same humor, a lot of the same content, but just be like, oh, but we're different than that. Like, oh, we're just going to take this Pepe frog and we're just going to repurpose him all the way back around. How do you like this copium, freaks?
Yeah, and he's like, I don't like the new Pepe. I liked it for a little bit. Now I hate the whole like, I'm just eating chicken tendies. And it's like the little, he's all like smushed and like kind of chibi small form. Anyway,
chibi Pepe. Did you watch the Pepe documentary?
Yeah,
it's
amazing.
So good.
We actually reviewed it for Fire Bros.
Oh yeah, must watch.
Only $2 a month.
But Daily Black Pill, it's just pathetic. I did see, I forgot who it was on Twitter, posted a really funny parody of it where it was like, here's your Daily Black Pill. And it was just took a picture of a piece of paper where he wrote like, girls are mean.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Which is, I mean, that is kind of what it boils down to. And I mean, like in some way, like, sure, some people just have things normally happen, but everybody's different. I mean, like you know, they mentioned high school and stuff and being a teen, but like I was a pretty fat kid, and it was like I was in middle school, like 12, 13 years old, and it was like I spent a summer of like dieting and running and doing push-ups in the basement every single day.
That's your anime.
Right.
That was your anime sequence.
It really was. But it was like there's nothing wrong with self-improvement. And I mean, like the whole, I think the joke here is they also mention no fap, basically stop. Normal people don't have to stop like masturbating to get to whatever. And it's like it's more of like a self-referential, like a self-deprecating humor for their own thing, kind of their own weird lifestyles, I guess. But it's also like, it doesn't have to be this way. You know, it doesn't have to be like, so, you know, you don't have to hate yourself more than you may already do. You know, it's just
don't pile it on top. Like,
right.
If you hate yourself and you're just like me, just enjoy hating yourself. Just like that makes it better.
Yeah, they work backwards from the conclusion that there's no hope.
Right.
And,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They went backwards from
everything
it,
supports the idea that you can't do anything about, I don't know, whatever, being an incel.
Right. I mean, like, it's like, of course, involuntary celibate. So, trying to think of a good punishment, though. You got one?
Red pill, blue pill, black pill. Hey, how about we get universal health care so that we can all afford the pills that we want to take?
Yeah.
I like that.
Grill pill them. They had to grill. They had to have a cookout with all their friends. Actually, that's probably better.
Yes, you know what?
Maybe not great.
I
don't think we should get them together.
When you're out there grilling with your boys, as it were, you're just gonna, for all your worries are just gonna fade away in the smoke and the whatever you're cooking up. It smells great. Andrew, 2 minutes of hate. Anything bothering you? You want to get off your chest?
I got two things that are bothering me. One, I think maybe I may have talked about this last time, but it still bothers me. And it's the people who share infographics on Instagram. Get them out of here.
I hate that the most on Instagram stories because I have to press my fat thumb on the screen to make
hold
it stay.
Yeah. Well, then I also read them and I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. This is just incoherent. And then I go to then I'll go down a rabbit hole, and that's how
they get you, man.
I'm like going and I'm looking at it. I'm like, I hate this. I disagree with it. And then I'm like reading like the comments, and then there's people in the comments I agree with, and I'm like, I should just get on with my life.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I've been a lot happier as a person since I've stayed away from comments and Twitter replies to a lot of things. 'Cause honestly, there was a breaking point where I realized it was just bringing me tremendous misery, and making me overthink too many things, and giving me like just more stress than I really needed. So, would you say it's exclusive to Instagram?
Oh no, there's like TikTok. The TikTok kid. I'm not on TikTok really, but I get things sent to me sometimes. And it's like some of these kids on TikTok, they don't know what they're talking about. In my opinion,
I don't think anybody knows what they're talking about.
Yeah,
they're all just sort of a little bit stupider or a little bit smarter than each other.
Yeah, my thing is like, someone sent me this TikTok, and it was like this kid who was like, he's talking about communism. He's like, you don't know this, but Marx isn't as good as you think he is, blah, blah, blah. The white man's communism. And he's like, I'm just like, you're 12. You haven't read a book, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe hop on pop.
Yeah, start there, huh? Why don't you?
He can't read Hop on Pop because Dr. Seuss has been canceled. This is
Hop on Pop
what
was one of the ones
done.
That weren't canceled though.
It was all canceled. Listen, I've seen Donald Trump Jr.'s book collection, and I know for a fact that he bought that after Dr. Seuss got canceled. I'm only assuming he did it logically because he couldn't get it anywhere else after that.
You know what? With all the remakes,
I put no more thought into it.
All the remakes and reboots these days, I wouldn't be surprised if they would remake the book as as twerk on pop.
I'd read it. Dr. Seuss, but make it woke.
Yeah. I didn't even put that much thought into it.
Oh, I'm trying to think of other ones now.
Twerk on pop.
Green eggs and avocado toast, already green.
Yeah.
Redundant.
What are other...
well, the Lorax is already kind of woke. Maybe they reverse that one, and the Lorax is bad.
Okay, we'll give them one. One for us, one for them.
Horton here's shit. I don't know.
An oppressed voice, or I don't know.
I don't know.
I think this bit's already run its course. It's fine.
Yeah.
But infographics on Instagram.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Get them out of here. You have to read a book about whatever you shared a post about.
But infographics are easier. There's less text to read than a book, and there's a big
They're
picture.
not books. They're not cited.
There's a big pie chart or a graph. You know,
it's usually someone just talking out their ass.
Labels.
Dude, that's also the worst when someone sends you an infograph and they're like, "Did you see this?" And it like there's sometimes they'll have citations so you can sort of like back it up if you want to, or at least have the illusion of like, "Hey, this is based on something." But a lot of times it's just like, "Hey, actually, did you know that this is bad? And here's an infographic. And it's but this is just like someone just some idiot made this.
Yeah.
This is kind of making me want to like spread misinformation for no reason.
You may as well. I mean,
because it sounds easy.
I just send them all the Chicago comedian Robert Flanagan now in Iowa. Yeah. I always just send him to Robert. I'm like, this is insane. And he's like, yeah, this is stupid. Just like stuff that's like, we need to abolish work. And it's like, you can't abolish work. Like,
I'm all about abolishing work, more playtime for the working class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay. Yeah, under communism, no one will have to do anything at all. Sure. Okay.
No.
Well, it was central to Marx's whole idea of like labor reform was like the concept of like, hey, labor is something we all have to do regardless. That's just being a human.
Less labor, more Legos. What's your punishment?
Oh, yeah, you have to read a book. You have to read a book about whatever you shared a thing on. And also, I hate the Legion of Skanks. All their fans, I hate them.
Yeah, I've been catching a lot of drama on Twitter for
so
that.
much, all the time, yeah.
I did a whole bit on that for 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah.
We would all be best to forget about that.
No more Legion of Skanks. How about Legion of Shanks? That's me, everybody. Huh? Okay.
Let's make that happen.
Yeah.
Is that just going to be the name of your podcast?
No. I made it my Twitter handle for a minute, and then I changed it.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, they would be very upset about that.
Grant, what do you got for us?
My 2 minutes of hate this week is... how do I put it? This just came to me. It came to me based on
what, in a dream, a vision,
just in a vision. I walked into a forest. I walked into the desert on peyote, as they call it, and I had a vision. No, just based on like some of the shit that we've seen happen on the internet within the past week or so, and just like in general, the way that people conduct themselves and whatnot.
Not just the past week.
Just the past, specifically the past week, but in general, the way people conduct themselves. And you look at some of the people that are like more prominent online, more famous online, and a lot of the ways that they've done it. And to a lot of people's, credit, there's a lot of people doing a lot of good work that have basically steered clear of all of like a lot of drama, and some certain things come up every once in a while, and certain things obviously are unavoidable, but like there's a lot of people that have at the very least done a good job of just saying like, hey, I'm a comedian, I'm here to do this, I'm not going to engage in bullshit.
I'm just here to get coffee in my car. All right, no big deal. Just a comedian.
Just coffee in my car. I'm not going to date a 17-year-old when I'm 35. Like, I'm making videos, and I want people to laugh at these videos, and that's it. And I commend all those people that have been able to do that and make a living off of doing that. What makes me an anger is people who are just complete pieces of shit, and like just the how far you can go with like just starting fights with people on the internet and just being inflammatory, just being a complete piece of garbage. Like how that's just like a ladder to the top.
Is somebody bullying you?
No, I'm just saying like I think about that in terms of like this show, even just like, hey, you know what'd make us more popular? Let's just start a fight with someone. Like, how easy would that be? Just to be a piece of garbage.
Let's do it right now. I'm going to be a piece of garbage.
It's just like, but then you cultivate like the community that you're sort of surrounding yourself with, and the people that you associate with are also then fucking garbage people. You know,
if you build it, they will come.
Exactly, and I don't want people coming.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I stand by that.
So does Grant's girlfriend.
Right on.
What?
I don't know. I was,
oh, no, that was good.
Yeah. Was it? I thought about it. I'm like, wait, did that make any sense?
No, it definitely did. You got it in under the wire.
So, Grant, we're talking about something else. So we're talking about... are you telling me, Grant, you don't like the Keemstar program, Drama Alert?
Exactly.
You don't like that? You don't find it interesting or entertaining or something?
But it's like not just him. It's just like I look at how many people have 700 times the audience of us, and how easy it would be just to be a piece of shit, you know, just to dress up like Chris Chan and just show up at Chris Chan's house as they're getting arrested.
Wait, did he dress up like Chris Chan?
Who? The
person you were talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Just to do
I did
that.
not know that detail.
Just for like the tiniest bit of some internet clout. Like, you just gotta be there. You gotta do it. Like, and not even to target one person, but this is just how the internet works. Is you start a fight with someone, you be a shitbag, you know. You start a feud, you start beef.
I mean, that's like
you take the ladder up to the top. You take the escalator.
it does. I mean, it's like high school or whatever. Even high school wasn't this bad.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, because it's like a global scale. You know,
Yeah.
high school is just high school. You graduate from high school, you leave there. You can move to a different town. I can't move off of Twitter. This stuff still happens outside of it. It forms a narrative.
You could, but there would be no show.
Right. And I want to do a show. I want to do this show.
Now, these people are crappy, man, is what you're saying. Well, what's your punishment?
Flush them down the toilet.
With your crappy behavior, you're going down the fucking toilet. Goodbye. Whoosh. Wish Brandon Kirkman was here with the
Oh man.
toilet flushing. He showed up at the live show with a megaphone with a pre-programmed
Oh,
toilet
like a sound.
flush.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah, in his classic voicemail fashion. But let's move right along, though, because if you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we punish each perpetrator. We sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and often unusual punishment.
Wait, what did you say?
Something different.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about...
Should we elephant the room?
Yeah, we have to. We're not going to give the whole rundown. Okay, listen, guys, girls, whoever at home, if you don't know who Chris Chan is, just do a quick Google search. There's a bunch of documentary series. Honestly, if you don't want to look it up, I certainly would not blame you.
Just skip the rest of the episode if you don't want to.
And
listen
I
to
want to be
this.
sparse with these details because it's not really something that, like, I don't know. I feel like half of our listeners are split. Half of them are like, follow the whole saga of Chris Chan,
Right.
which has been going since like 2007. And then some of them are like, I don't get it. This is stupid. So Chris Chan is the most documented human being in history. We know more about Chris Chan than we know about anyone, which is true. There is...
It's amazing to think that if all human life were to disappear tomorrow and like a group of aliens came down and they found our computers and they were to just be like, what is life like on Earth? And they saw Christian, like,
This is how people
Imagine.
lived. They drew comics and,
Andrew, are you familiar with Chris Chan?
I do not know who. Well, maybe I do, but I don't know based on the name.
It's like the most bullied person that also has some severe mental problem, and I don't
it's
exactly
pretty bad.
know what.
Like it started off as just I'll give it the brief rundown. So Chris
I'll give it a
Chan
Google.
drew these comics called Sonichu, which is
Oh yeah, okay. I know
yeah.
Sonic
It's like Sonic and Pikachu
yeah.
melted into one character. And Chris Chan it just became this like internet icon basically.
Yeah.
And was so malleable to what people on the internet told them to do or say or anything. And they really fucking crazy shit. And again, if you really want to find we don't have enough time on the episode to go over every single thing that's happened, but there are extensive documentary series on YouTube and
like
everything else.
hours upon hours upon like just and
Like into the family history, like every interaction. It's insane. Like dozens and dozens of hours of like content documenting the different sagas because they are sagas. And what the reason we're bringing it up this week is because I don't even know how much I want to breach with this, but the Chris Chan, it's basically one of these people where you see these things happen and you're like, how could this possibly get worse? How could this continue to shock people 14 years later.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Chris Chan is taking care of their elderly mother, who apparently they are having sex with. And the audio leaked. There's, of course, evidence and all this crazy shit. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, even the most cynical people didn't see this coming. And it just was trending on Twitter more than the Olympics were. It's just, that's just honestly a sign of the times and a sign of the world that we live in, the modern culture and everything. And just, again, even like people who have been following Chris or Christine for years did not, and it's been, they got like Grant was saying, they did get arrested because I mean their mother is senile.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be, I don't know if they're in their care actually, now that I think about it, because I don't know if Chris Chan is fit to be like taking care of somebody.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, it's still like full audio and all this admissions and everything of like an open relationship. It's just very weird and very bad. But they got arrested this week, so we don't really know what's going to happen. And it's just, again, there really is nothing else like the Chris Chan. I would say saga, but there are multiple sagas. What do you call something that's like a series of sagas?
Series of
Dragon Ball Z.
There we go. Yeah, it's like coming back to the whole anime reference. Yeah.
I was gonna say a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, that sounds.
I might be stamping on some well trademarked territory.
I don't think Lemony Snicket could come up with anything this twisted.
It's true.
So I don't know. What did we have some links here, Grant? With anything in particular?
I don't know. Just picture of the mugshot. I mean, nothing really. I don't think too. Oh, so this is sort of funny, and I'll pull this up onto the screen. Just this photo of this locked Twitter account.
Is that their Twitter?
No, this is a different Twitter. This is a different
the same name.
Not a great week to be named Christian.
Chris Chan.
Yeah, Chris Chan on Twitter locked his account and said, "I am not Sonichu."
Oh, no.
This poor guy.
Chris, it's Chris Chandler is the person's name.
Okay, yeah.
But they go by Chris Chan.
And then there was,
it's just like the whole Chris Chan thing is honestly something that kind of thing is something we try to stay away from touching with a 10-foot pole on this show sometimes. But again, it's
just like
it was bigger than the Olympics this week,
right? And it's just like you said, it's one of those aspects of the internet that feels damn near foundational to the very core of the internet itself.
For better, for
which
worse, yes.
Disgusts me.
Yes.
But do you have any questions about any of the, like...
Oh, I mean, yeah, but I think it'll just be my day tomorrow.
Okay.
I mean, you have to have set aside a whole weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, sit down...
I knew Sonichu was twisted. I didn't know how deep it went.
The art, yeah, I like to separate the art from the artist. Typically, I still enjoy Sonichu, but I just don't.
Sonichu, kind of the Chinatown of internet culture.
Yes, exactly. It's a great film.
You're not completely wrong.
Talented artist. Yeah, it truly is just shocking, and we don't know how
Sonichu and Smash.
We still got one slot left.
That's a good punishment, to be honest.
Yeah, that is
could just
perfect.
be the whole,
yeah.
And then maybe just maybe Chris Chan just goes to jail and that adventure is over. But now we just focus more on the tales of Sonichu, and it just gets licensed out. People can use, and just like
Ben Schwartz now is Sonichu.
There we go. Yeah,
and let's just focus on that instead of collectively bullying a mentally ill person.
What about this though? What about this? Remember in the Sonic movie how they had the reference to Sonic, like the drawing? What if in the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie there's a reference to Sonichu in there because it's like reluctantly done
right.
because they're like, well, people eat this crap up, so
yeah.
it's like.
Honestly, I mean, yeah, I feel like I've seen tweets like that before, where it's like they show the picture and it like I must have seen something.
I'm
like
sure.
that,
I'm
but
sure.
Like, nevertheless, I mean, yeah, I maybe big theaters or not big theaters, but like big production companies and shit like that. Like, I do think Disney owes us.
I think
Chris Chan movie.
Chris Chan would trend very well overseas.
Honestly,
let's move on to the next story here.
please.
So this Frontier Airlines
Jesus
passenger.
Christ.
This is unbelievable. I watched this video earlier today, and my jaw dropped.
I mean, it has impeccable timing for a video of this nature. I do have to say, I don't think I've seen something this funny before just be so natural.
Yeah,
you know?
I 100% agree. So I'm going to read the headline or the Twitter post that shared it. It says a Frontier passenger allegedly touched 2 flight attendants' breasts, then screamed that his parents are worth more than $2 million before punching another flight attendant. Frontier suspended the crew for duct taping the passenger to his seat as they landed in Miami. Now, if that sounds wild, watch this video.
You guys fucking suck! My parents are worth more than fucking $2 million goddamn dollars. And you know what? You fucking suck! Yeah! Yeah! You know what? My grandpa is worth more than your fucking life. Fucking
Nobody's taking him seriously.
Until he starts assaulting people. Here he is punching this guy.
Yo! Chill out!
I mean, he's clearly drunk, right?
Yeah.
And they are duct taping him to the fucking seat, like wrapping a roll around the back and the front, like his mouth, his arms, his whole body.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And it's like not even the passengers, like the staff is like just duct taping him to the seat. And there's one more video as they're touching down in Miami.
Yeah, let me pull this up real quick. I had it pulled up earlier. We were watching it earlier, and you were like, like here, check this, like play the next one, and like this. So this is the next one. Is they're landing.
Help! Help!
This man got the right dentist. That's all I'm gonna say. Dentist is
Help!
on point.
He's like worming his way out of the duct tape, and like everybody's laughing at him.
We are landing.
It's also crazy to me too that like I know that like we were sort of talking about this in the Discord a little bit, that there might be some sort of like moral ambiguity towards like the whole thing of like, you're duct taping a person or whatever, but he's very obviously fine.
I mean, I saw the second video. I saw the second video first, and I was like, I gotta find out how this happened.
Right.
Because at first I thought it was like he was like a victim, and then I watched the first video, and I'm like, I mean, it's probably not in the employee handbook to do that, but he did deserve it.
Yeah. Also, like, you have to restrain a guy that's assaulting people on an
you
airplane.
can't really be doing that as a plane is landing. That's kind of an issue.
I think when they were doing that was in the air.
Oh no, I'm saying he can't be doing that.
Oh yeah.
You can't be like punching.
That's true. That's true.
Groping people. Yeah,
and it's like I feel like was there not any better equipment to restrain I can't imagine this is the first like outraged like flight passenger that's acted this way. Did they just carry around rolls of duct tape for that to happen?
That is a lot of tape that they have.
Yeah. Like I feel like there should be like something else.
Mask. That was also something I noticed.
Yeah,
no mask on this guy.
They taped his mouth shut. So
well, I imagine that's why.
Yeah, that was the first reason. The second reason was the groping and the punching and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, real piece of shit, yelling about how his parents are worth $2 million. Like,
which questionable.
Yeah,
does not seem to be the case.
What is it about airplanes that this stuff just happens
Yeah.
on. Like I feel like all the raunchiest like found footage that like people have of like cell phone, like off their cell phones of people getting punched or abused or whatever the fuck happens.
People really lose their cool.
Yeah, on airplanes, and especially like it has amplified over the pandemic and stuff where people
Maybe air pressure.
It could be, but I think just like you mentioned the mask thing, like the discourse around whether people don't want to wear one and will wear one. It's like all these pictures, and like now it's like I mean you should still wear one, especially on an airplane because it's like
dude, I took the train here. There was a guy he got on with a LaCroix and he was just sipping no mask, just sipping his LaCroix, and like whatever you can't control other people.
You start punching him.
No, I was just like real that it's just like, and then I took a flight and there was a guy just eating like pork rinds the whole time. It's like, just don't wear them. You don't need to eat pork rinds.
Like,
right.
I've been on
it's the loophole of it all that I hate.
Yeah, it's like I've been on a couple flights too, and like since everything's
have the
happened.
guts to just not wear it. If you're don't do this loophole stuff.
Like I was like double masking up and everything, like when things were really bad, but when they come around for giving a pack of pretzels or peanuts, it's like I'll wait till I land.
Yeah,
I can wait to eat.
Yeah, especially like pre-vaccine when I was on an airplane, it's just like, I'm not taking this out. Like
exactly.
I don't even. It's not worth it. Even for water, it's just like I can wait 2 hours to not drink water. Like, what does it matter?
And it's like you mentioned with these like the loopholes that people are like, well, I'm eating peanuts, so I don't have to wear a mask. It's like, yeah, I guess
so you're eating one peanut every 10 minutes.
Where are they now?
It's also just crazy to me that it's like, again, after more than a year of going through everything that we've gone through and knowing that when you get to the doors of the airport that they will require it and that you wore one the entire time, and then you get on an airplane and you take it off because they don't let you on the airplane without wearing it. You sit down and then the flight attendant goes, sir, can you pull your mask up? And you go, I'm going to throw the biggest fit that the internet's ever seen. Time and time again, people do it. Why?
You will
Why
end up
do
on
people
Facebook
do
Live.
it?
You will.
Yeah. I took a plane a couple weeks ago, and I was supposed to. There's like a big guy, and he was kind of sitting. He was taking up 2 seats, basically.
Sure, yeah.
And like I was supposed to sit next to him, and then the whole row in front of him was open. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah.
And then I hear the guy. He's like, and they said I wasn't gonna be able to fit, and I was like, you're really lucky that I'm afraid of you, because I didn't want to start anything. I just took every seat.
Just get me off this.
Yeah, I was like,
plane.
I don't want to. I was like, I'm about to. Oh no, we're not gonna do this.
Yeah.
Because ideally, he was going to be like, oh, whatever.
I mean, if there's space,
there was room, and it's like, who cares? I'll just, And they're like, sit in your assigned seat. I'm like, I think the flight attendants will thank me for not creating an issue here.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was an exit row. I'm like, I'm taking on responsibility.
Yeah, I don't think they went another viral moment.
Yeah,
probably the third one of the shift
that day.
Yeah. So let's punish this guy, though. Punishment.
I think that all the people laughing at him, he should just have people following him, laughing at him all the time.
Yeah,
because it seems like he's just like that.
Yeah.
Just videoing him.
Yeah, and he doesn't have, we'll let him go. We'll untape the guy. Okay,
just
fine.
teens yelling "World Star" all the time at him.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
He's just constantly crying, just like, please, guys, everybody, please stop bullying me. Basically,
they don't have to bully him; they just laugh at.
Well, I think that they should bully him. I think that like the people that are like maybe just him and Chris Chan do a Freaky Friday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just that guy and that mentality. You just got to switch. And now look at what you have to deal with. Now you have to deal with everybody on the internet just constantly harassing you.
Yeah. It's just like the emotional arc that those two videos take, where he goes from screaming about his parents being rich to like begging for help. Like a worm.
Also, like, you assaulting like, let alone multiple, but like you assaulting a single like airline attendant or whatever is like a huge felony.
Yeah.
And like he'll never be able to fly again for the rest of his life. Like, was it worth it to throw a fit? That's what they're finding with all these people that are refusing the mask shit too, is just like, Okay, you got kicked off and now you can't fly again forever. Was it worth it? Is it ever worth it? Now you just can't. Now you have to drive everywhere?
Take Greyhound buses.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
I think that's his punishment. He has to ride Greyhound buses.
He'll pull the same shit on the bus.
Well, the Greyhound people, I hate to say it, that's kind of par for the course.
Yeah, they'll kick you off and not think twice.
Yeah,
that's true.
No, they won't put up with that.
They'll kick you off in fucking Gary, Indiana, and you can hitchhike your ass home.
Speaking of masks and vaccination, though, you gotta keep them separated by 6 feet. That's right,
Uno,
folks.
dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, cinco, seis.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Incredible.
The Offspring, Offspring drummer says he's been booted from the band for not getting vaccinated. Hey, the kids are all right. That was the Offspring, right?
I think so.
I don't remember.
This is kind of crazy considering Limp Bizkit just played Lollapalooza.
I think that Limp Bizkit's also very pro-vaccine,
That's
in
why
between.
It's pretty crazy
songs,
that it's that Limp Bizkit is now a voice of reason.
It's weird that there's a redemption arc for these. I mean, sort of shitty bands. I don't want to say that
you
the
put some
Offspring
respect
is
on Limp Bizkit's name.
Terrible.
It's not terrible. I'll agree.
I don't know
that.
if I'll say that Limp Bizkit isn't not terrible.
But this is actually this is an interesting trend that I've noticed since we've gone through the masks and the vaccines and stuff. I feel like every other week we have a story, whether we get to it or not on the show, of a band where one of the members or
like Eric Clapton being very anti-mask
him or
and
the
anti-vax.
Mumford and Sons. There's always
what happened with Mumford and Sons?
There's
anti.
One of the people in the band was there was some controversy.
He has a weird Jordan Peterson. One of the guys has a weird.
That's what it was. Yeah,
it's that guy. He basically what had happened is he had read a book by Andy No.
Oh yeah.
So he read a book and he just tweeted out a picture of
Andy,
it.
no, thank you. More like it, folks.
He tweeted out a photo of his book and he's like, Andy, no, thank you for the important work that you're doing. And people were like, hey, he's kind of not a good guy. Maybe don't read that book. Maybe actually what you're sort of telling people to read is actually bad sort of thing. And there was a whole thing where he's like, I'm gonna step away from it. He deleted all his tweets and shit like that. And it's I don't know if this was the reaction. I don't know if you can consider this a cancel because as far as I know, you just didn't handle criticism well, but I only know so much.
The drummer's name is Pete Parada, and I'm going to read this. Whatever you want to call this genre of social media posts, where it's written in the Notes app and screenshotted.
I love those.
And I'm realizing it's it's on Instagram.
A Notes app apology, but this doesn't seem like it'll be an apology.
It's here's my clear thoughts kind of thing, and it's 7 slides. Jesus Christ!
Yes.
So I'll get through this as fast as I can.
Consolidate.
No, I want to hear it all.
I've got some unfortunate and difficult news to share. I know many of my close friends and family would have preferred to hear this privately first, and I apologize for the public nature of my disclosure, but I don't know how to have this conversation multiple times. Given my personal medical history and the side effect profile of these jabs, my doctor has advised me not to get a shot at this time. I caught the virus over a year ago. It was mild for me, so I'm confident I'd be able to handle it again. But I'm not so certain I'd survive another post-vaccination round of Guillain-Barré syndrome, which dates back to my childhood and has evolved to be progressively worse over my lifetime. Unfortunately for me and my family, who is hoping to keep me around a bit longer, the risks outweigh the benefits. I'm not going to read it. There's a lot of text. So rather than hearing the guy out, I will skip it.
Whatever. We're not a legitimate news source. It doesn't matter.
No. So, I mean, yeah, he says allegedly some medical complications here.
Sure.
Which, I mean, I did know somebody who got the the first shot and had a severe medical reaction to an allergic reaction to it.
Yeah.
And
I know they happen.
Yeah, it does happen.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot here, but it's if that's what the Offspring is you're out of the band unless you put yourself in danger. That seems shitty if that's the case.
I also wonder if there's more to it than just that, because I know we can read this guy's
I'm sure
side
there
of it
is,
and
but
stuff
I'm
like
lazy.
that, and it's but we don't know for a fact, because I'm also sure that they might have been hey, if you're not gonna like, I don't know. I can't put myself in. What's the Offspring guy's name?
This guy, Pete Parada?
No, the main guy.
Oh, I have no idea.
The Offspring, Mr. Spring. I can't put myself in his shoes or whatever, but it's just like we don't know what was happening behind closed doors if this guy's wearing a mask or whatever. And like, let's say we take this shit at like face value that he has this
Dexter Holland.
Dexter Holland. We take it at face value that this is something that he's dealing with or whatever. It's like, well, maybe instead of like playing with the band, maybe you just like distance from them for a while longer. You know what I mean? Like,
apparently Dexter Holland received his PhD in molecular biology 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So he's like,
what a twist.
Yeah, right?
That is a fascinating character arc.
Yeah.
Being in the Offspring and then being like, you know what? I'm going to get
that's more
a PhD in molecular biology.
That's cool. You know, why not?
Why doesn't he just make a vaccine that'll work for the guy?
Maybe he will. Maybe he will.
I think I was doing a little bit of reading on that disease too. I think that happens with a couple different vaccinations. I don't think that it's one that's necessarily because he said that he had it since childhood or something.
And apparently he's being replaced on an upcoming tour.
Yeah, I'm assuming that there's more to it than just this because it's just like, well, if they don't want to get infected or whatever, and there's some sort of disparity between this or whatever, it's just like, well, maybe he just records from a studio, or like maybe that was the issue is they're just like, hey, you don't want to make this accommodation, we'll make this accommodation. And then maybe he just went, well, actually, I don't want to do that.
I mean, if the guy's got
I don't know.
PhD in molecular biology, maybe he's like looking out for him. He's like, hey, man, if you can't get the shot,
then you
maybe don't
Yeah.
come on tour for your own sake.
Yeah.
Because it's like he can still get it and spread it. Any of us, even including with the vaccine, can still get it and spread it around and shit like that. It just, I don't know. It's been interesting watching people's reactions to any of this, you know?
Definitely is. And again, it always seems to circle around these, like, you know, more often than not, like bands and groups and stuff like that, where there is some sort of
like a history almost.
Exactly.
Group dynamic and whatnot.
COVID is the new Yoko.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Do we have a punishment, I guess, for the drummer?
I think that Dexter Holland, like you said, should come up with a new vaccine.
Yeah, make a new vaccine for him.
You're gonna go far, kid.
Yeah, that's your life. So I think he was like, for a couple of years, I guess he was working on some sort of like experimental medication for like HIV or something like that.
Did you know about this already?
No, I would like just from. Honestly, I didn't even look it up just from scrolling Twitter.
Okay.
Like just from other people were talking about it, and I didn't even fully read complete sentences. They just passed by my eyeballs.
If only Fred Durst had done the same.
Let's move on to Key to the City, though. Something positive, something nice, something swell in our lives. Let's give it out. Key to Neo Chicago. My key to the city this week goes to this video essay I saw on YouTube, which I guess... Are we just calling like YouTube documentaries video essays now?
Pretty much.
I think most of them are, yeah.
I mean, like they're not...
A video essay is like a particular genre of them, but...
Yeah. It doesn't feel like an all-out documentary, but some of the video essays really do go out, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So mine goes to this by Tall Skeleton on YouTube. It's called The Death and Future of Late Night, How Chasing Trends Ruined Comedy.
I enjoyed this very much. You posted it in Discord a while ago.
Very good, yeah.
It's really cool. They talk about like the history of like Carson and like how things got like a little bit weirder and more experimental with like Conan and Letterman and how things kind of are now, where they say Conan continues to innovate and change and do different things, whereas you have like these other, you know,
Colbert and Fallon.
They really,
Fallon in particular.
Yeah, they really go into him. They really go into James Corden especially. But it's honestly really, really good. And if you spent any time consuming any of this kind of media, which it's like the main focal point of the piece is like, why do we feel like this type of entertainment is, or this media is sort of disappearing from the cultural zeitgeist? they're like, is it just that young people don't care about this kind of thing? Is it the whole like talk show, like monologue, like sketch, interview format? Just nobody, it feels too stilted. It's a great now I'm calling it a documentary. It's a great,
whatever. It's interchangeable, basically.
It's a great YouTube video. Check it out. By Tall Skeleton. Andrew, anything positive you want to let us know about?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I want to go back to what Graham was saying about people who are just on the internet and using it in a fun way that's good and nice.
Yes.
Those people deserve a reward.
Yeah, and I like to get silly and weird on the internet without being toxic or even like overly political. Like, not that there's anything wrong with it, but I really am like just burnt out.
People
man.
are just out to have a good time, huh?
Like
good, clean fun on the internet.
We need like not everything has to be the same thing. You know what I mean? More or less. And yeah, just people who are doing it without having to cause drama.
Or like I go
messy
on
shit.
and play the snake game on Google. I love the little snake game on Google.
Is that like
You just type snake into Google and it pulls up. It's very fun and great. Yeah. I don't know if it does it on the phone, and then there's all kinds of different modes on it.
One thing I've been trying to do a little more recently is like because
miniclip.com. How about that?
Miniclip.com.
That's a great key to the city.
Key to the city to miniclip.com.
Save my ass in many a computer class.
Yeah.
One thing that I have been trying to do a little more recently, like, because I am on the TikTok app and even on Twitter to a certain extent, is just like, if I see a video that I actually like I rarely now, if ever, like, try and like purposefully leave negative comments. I don't think that I ever like did, but I feel like for my own sanity and my and for the sake of the people that have to like deal with content creation and sort of the backlash towards it, like, if I see something that I like, I'll just like drop a quick positive comment and then I like feel better about it. And then hopefully they see it and they feel better about it, especially if it's like, oh, you did good work on this video. It's just like, I mean, I think more people would probably benefit from doing that, because it's like, how much shit do you see nowadays where everything's just wrought with negative comments? And I do think that it just like makes everyone's lives worse just to constantly be inundated with that.
No, I agree with you, man. Like the extra, like going the extra mile for the comment and the like.
Right.
I feel like, why not? You know, and it's some, random people have reached out to us like, hey, I've been listening to the show for a while. I just want to say it's really entertaining. You guys make me laugh. Like, that's awesome. Like that's like awesome to hear. I'm glad. Right. I mean, that's like, that's the whole point. So I'm glad it's working.
Even just like a single word comment on a video, just like incredible, fantastic. It's just like, yeah, this is better to see than just like, fuck you, you fucking, like, just constant, you know.
Yeah, we still get comments on that Jordan Peterson Kermit the Frog thing. Yeah. Like, we got one the other day, just like, because that video is from like 4 years ago, and someone's just like, this is a masterpiece.
Classic.
I will say I will never give up reading YouTube comments. Those are just insane.
They used to be like so horrible. I mean, not to say they're like much
they
better
very
now,
much are, but like
back in the day, it was
you go
like,
and you look at pick a song you like, and just go look at the comments on them, and they're so
every song is like, yeah, this song reminds me of my brother who died.
Yeah,
or like,
it's like 30, like a novel.
They're always like depressing, like, yeah, this reminds me of childhood. Yours I'll never get back.
Yeah, Bruce Kesslering has a great joke about that.
I vaguely remember that, actually. Yeah, he's been on the show 2 or 3 times.
He was on somewhat recently.
Friend of the show, Bruce Kesslering.
Yeah, friend of the show, friend of the pod.
Check him out.
Grant, what's your
my key to the city this week is because I like to dabble in communism. No, like just weird philosophical things and stuff like that. This author Mark Fisher, that I guess the late Mark Fisher, as of 2017, had begun writing about this concept called acid communism, which sounds like it's all about just you do drugs and you're a communist, but it's a little more fleshed out. And so there's this entire article on Medium called "What is Acid Communism?" and it gives you
Medium. Wow.
Medium.com. Check it out if you haven't heard of it.
I like that Medium tells you how long of the article. It's like a 5-minute read. I love that it tells you how long the article is.
I do like stuff like that, because it's like, oh, I can read this, or 30-minute read, and it's like, fuck that shit.
I like it when it's like a notes app apology, and someone put in, people like be like, I got canceled and this is my Medium article about it.
Yeah.
It's like a 40-minute read. And they like write
Bean Dad.
thesis. Yeah.
Jesus. If I could go the rest of my life without ever hearing Bean Dad ever again, but Mark Fisher was this really sort of interesting guy who like took all these different like concepts from like Derrida and like different fucking like philosophical writers and stuff like that, and like had tried to come up with some sort of like structural conceptualization of like the utilization of like capitalism and how we can't see our way out of it. And his idea was this concept called acid communism, and he started writing a book about it, and then he killed himself. And so no one really knows exactly what it means outside of like his personal criticism of capitalist realism. And I found this article to be very interesting, and so I started listening to like some of his lectures and stuff like that. If anything sounds interesting to you personally that I just said, check it out. And if not, I don't know. I don't care.
Is it called acid communism because of like acid?
So the whole concept was to sort of like marry like the more sort of traditionalist conceptualizations of like leftist rhetoric to sort of like the hippie movement of the 60s and 70s.
Like a psychedelic utopian futurism kind of
right, without it being sort of this like whitewashed form of liberalism that really didn't go anywhere.
I think almost like acid rock, where it's like it's not so much about drugs, but it's influenced by the like the psychology and the aesthetic.
Yeah, it's influenced by this break in our conceptualization of realism, that it's like, oh, we can't envision anything outside of capitalism because it's just like everything we try and think of is within these terms.
Like
so we need this psychedelic break outside of it, whether or not that even has anything to do with drugs. It's just like in the name or whatever. But it's like a very interesting concept that's like you don't even have to take it at face value sort of thing. It's like you can just sort of like read about it and like listen to a couple of his lectures and stuff like that, and like just the framework that he sort of like tries to build off of that, I think is like interesting.
Cool.
Along those same lines, I want to give a key to the city to Slavoj Žižek.
Nice.
I think he also sort of utilizes a couple of his...
Yeah, this sounds like adjacent.
Yeah.
Let's move along to Thought Cop's Word of the Week.
Yes.
Take it away.
I guess this... I don't think that this is a word. I think I might have coined this in the
Doesn't
Discord.
matter. It is now if you say it.
We were talking about the concept of infotainment in the Discord, and I said that Thought Cops is more of entermation. You know? It's entertainment with some information, as opposed to infotainment, which is supposed to be informative, but it's through the lens of entertainment. So Fox News is infotainment, right? Thought Cops is entermation.
I like that.
We're entertaining you, but hey, maybe you'll learn some things. Maybe you won't. Maybe it's stupid, but it's entertainment.
Hey, you know what? If you had a good time, that's all I can ask for.
We're dressing it up a little different.
I hope you had the time of your life. The Offspring. Just kidding.
Classic joke. The old bait and switch. Speaking of baiting and switching,
before we do get to the final segment of the show, which is our wonderful listener voicemails, Andrew, if you want to plug anything you want to plug, any shows, social media, anything you got.
So first and third Saturdays at Lincoln Lodge, I'm running a new material show that's first and third Saturdays of the month at 6 p.m. 10 comedians from Chicago doing their newest 5 minutes. And then third Fridays at 9 p.m., I help run Goldfish Tank, which is a show where we do fake Shark Tank pitches. And different comedians do those. It's an alternative comedy show.
Awesome.
And I think that's everything I produce right now.
But Lincoln Lodge, that's where we're doing our live show.
Lodge, exactly.
So
while you're there, come back the next day or whatever.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It'll be there. I don't know. It's everyone. I'm there all the time. So
dude, the Lincoln Lodge is like fucking awesome.
It is so
pretty
fun.
Cool. I'm kind of angry at myself that I never really hung out there before.
Well, that's the thing is it's only been like this recently, post COVID, really. Yeah. So. But now it's the most fun place in Chicago.
Because we saw like Nick Mullen at the old location.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the same?
It's the same show. It used to that was at probably Under the Gun.
Yeah, where
Maybe
was
it was.
the
It may have
where
even
was
been
the
at
other
Sub-
location?
It was at Sub T for a minute, and then
It was God, it was like up.
originally it was at a Pancake House, but that closed a long time
No,
ago.
it was like a whole theater.
It was probably Under the Gun.
Yeah.
right by Blarney Stone.
Yeah,
the
I think
bar
so.
in
Yeah.
Wrigleyville, kind of. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But now it's like they have this like amazing location in
yeah,
Logan
with
Square.
3 theaters, and
Yeah.
and it's like
there's a fun bar.
yeah, it's a cool like hangout spot, and I think that's what I liked about it. Is it's like people can sort of hang out
Yeah.
and like peek into the theater, see if this is a show that you like, and then just like drop in.
And that was a cool thing too. Even in, like our last live show, we had a good number of people who just were there at the bar and were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
there's something going on
people
in there."
just drop in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah, that's
fun.
awesome.
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out myself since I'm pretty close by.
Yeah,
Indeed.
Anyway, before we get to our listener voicemails, I do want to remind everybody, if you want to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/thoughtcops for just $2 a month. You get every single episode of Fire Bros. We got another one coming up soon. We just released one. $5 a month, you get that, and you get to hang out in our live chat every single week. Bully us, egg us on, do whatever you feel like you need to do.
Yeah, it's fun.
And then $10 a month, we do some bonus content for you. We record some ride-along episodes, some at your request kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. People have used us in the past to utilize us to not bully, but like tease their friends. I guess, hey, here's like they say, hey, here's a picture of my
Hey,
friend.
we got some people pretty angry.
Roast him, and we did. $10 a month, and you get everything else too. So it helps us out a whole lot. It keeps the show going. Helps us get this fancy equipment you see in front of you. Patreon.com/thoughtcops. But if you want to leave a voicemail, that's completely free. Call us 312-788-7361, or you can always send us an audio file at thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Hit it.
Hello, Thought Cops. Once again, it is I, Leo the Incredible, gracing your voicemail. Good evening, gentlemen. I promise. This time it shall be pithy. So let's get it out of the way right away, shall we?
Appreciate it.
Kevin,
Yes,
look
sir.
over at Grant. Give him an affirmative man nod. A man nod like
I don't
you know
like
he
this.
just slayed a dragon but can't tell anybody about it.
Can't tell anybody.
Grant, good on you.
Why can't he tell
Moving
anybody?
on. As deputy of the Thought Cops, or honorary deputy, I don't think anybody knows what the tier system is.
No.
Nonetheless, thought crime, gentlemen, I'm calling it in. And maybe you've heard of it. But I recently read 6 whole states, have banned the sale of particular computers and laptops. Maybe just the power sources. This is ban is derived around the idea that these machines consume too much power. So the individual is being limited sales of product because the state thinks it sucks up too much energy. Turn off one downtown building in any metropolitan area, and you'll save that energy. I have a problem with it, gentlemen. This is not solving the energy crisis and not even coming close to saving anything. It's a thought crime. Banning the sale of these power supplies is a thought crime. Spin that wheel. Gentlemen, have a great evening.
He didn't. That's
the end?
it.
Okay.
He just said gentlemen. So we're spinning the wheel for
what he's talking about is these they're gamer PCs from what I gather.
Oh yeah, he's talking about anti-gaming.
Yeah, it is anti-gamer. Yeah,
anti-gamer,
racist,
anti-gamer hate speech,
unbelievable,
and legislation.
So he's saying that they should shut. Leo, we could spin the wheel for you, but it sounds like you had a punishment already. Shut down one of these buildings. You know, any building here in Greektown in Neo Chicago. We're looking out the window. You shut down one of these buildings. No one. I'm seeing nobody in there. Shut it down. Let the gamers game. Let the gamers game.
Jesus. Well, here's the wheel anyway. Just what it land on.
Midas touch.
Midas touch.
Leo gets to touch people and sap the energy out of them, and use it for his gamer rig.
All right, that's cool. Until he accidentally touches his family. And
well, I mean,
saps
the
their energy.
story of Midas, was not one of.
Well,
he had to learn a lesson there. So
you
Sorry,
wanted
Leo.
us to spin the wheel, so
we didn't have to, but
we didn't have to. You made us do it.
So all I have to say about the Christian stuff, besides
we're waiting for you to weigh
is
in.
that I truly came up with something horrific that could possibly happen because of this absolute shit show. So I consulted my lawyer friend, and while he thinks this is unlikely because of some verbiage, there is kind of some language in Virginia law where they think possibly verbiage is kind of vague that only people who are male can commit incest.
Fatal.
So there Chris might have to go to the Supreme Court for a trans issue because they were like, oh, well, are we going to focus on biological or gender identity? And that just made me think that someone like Ben Shapiro or Tucker Carlson are going to cover the Chris Chan raping Barb Chandler thing on their fucking channel, and then Donald Trump sees it, and this becomes like some fucking insane like 2022 or 2024 like political issue whether or not to let Chris Chan like in a woman's prison. And this is like the worst fucking timeline, because if Chris Chan goes to the Supreme Court for like some civil rights thing, this is what we deserve as the American empire. This is like our karma for all the genocide and destroying of the earth and imperialism and stealing land. Like this is what we deserve. We deserve this, or at least our government deserves this. We didn't personally do anything, but this fucking sucks.
Yeah, I mean, hundreds of years of history have led to this moment, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting thing. I mean, hey, mark your 2022 bingo cards now, because then you can't say you didn't see it on there, because it will be on there. So she's saying, yeah, maybe the Chris Chan thing will escalate to Donald Trump, perhaps.
I mean, I agree with her lawyer friend that probably none of that will happen.
It sounds like wishful thinking on her part. Just a little bit, you know?
It is, and I do think that, yeah, we do sort of deserve all of this, you know.
I think it's unlikely that there wouldn't be a fringe right-wing outlet that was like, Mr. Trump, would you weigh in on Sonichu?
Oh, absolutely.
There's no way that isn't going to happen.
And it's all like there are a lot of very online people too.
Yeah,
so it's like
someone's going to ask him about it. He may not say anything, but someone will ask him.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't Alex Jones have like White House press credentials during the Trump administration for at least a while?
I believe
there
so.
are a bunch of like weird shit things. Who's not to say that all that stuff doesn't come back?
Isn't there video in the Pepe documentary? There's like video of him saying like Pepe stuff. Like,
I think that was more like coincidence or like.
Well, I think it was coincidence. However, you know, these meme magic people think.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the future on that remains to be seen, but it will definitely be interesting and unexpected, I'm sure.
Honestly, I'm all for just like open the floodgates with just the dumbest shit. Like, we can't top or maybe we can top. Let's just try it. Let's just see how far it goes.
Because fuck it, that's why.
That's
Andrew,
the Thought Cop's promise.
Andrew, thank you so much for coming back on the show, man.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you.
Always good to see you. Very funny, man. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Again, you can leave us a voicemail, 312-788-7361, or send an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Support the show over at patreon.com/thoughtcops. We'll see you next time.
See you, Space Cop.